You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Welcome to the Dressage Today podcast's Training Buzz. These short podcasts bring you the best tips straight from our subscription video site, Dressage Today On Demand. To get full access to all our videos, go to ondemand.dressagetoday.com and enter promo code DTPodcast to save 15% off your subscription. Now, listen in on this week's buzz and enjoy the ride. Today, listen in on longtime Grand Prix trainer Nancy Lavoie as she talks about her approach to showing and gives great advice on how to make your show experience more enjoyable, including setting realistic goals and showing at the appropriate level.
We are here going to talk a little bit about show preparation, and I think that a lot of people think about showing, and already just the word horse show gets the adrenaline pumping and the stomach turning and the butterflies going. And I really enjoy competing. I have created a little bit of a system for myself in using some of that energy in a positive way. But the biggest thing that I think people can do to help themselves with the nerves is nerves come from feeling a lack of preparation. We get nervous when we're not sure about what's going to happen. So you want to try to take care of everything that you can take care of prior to the show, so that when you get there, you feel in control as much as possible of the things that you can take care of. Things are always going to happen, and that's not in our control. The weather or other people in the warm-up, these kind of things, we have to go with the flow when that's happening, and we have to feel confident enough in ourselves and in our preparation that some of those details are not going to affect us in a bad way. If it's a windy day or a rainy day or a hot day, that we've done everything we can to make ourselves ready for that situation, and then we're going to succeed on our own standards. We're going to succeed in that situation. So the first thing is creating a goal and entering the horse show at a level that you feel comfortable and confident to go out, take yourself into a different atmosphere, and be successful for yourself. And success is going to be in everybody's mind a little bit different, but your goal needs to be reasonable. So what level you're doing at home may be slightly above the level that you can comfortably do out in the atmosphere of a show. I like to be able to go through my test fluently without any major flaws, mistakes, or major communication breakdowns with my horse. At least a month, maybe 2 months in advance of the horse show that I have planned. And if I'm entering the show and I'm thinking, oh, well, that's okay, my flying change from right to left is good, my left to right flying change, well, that'll be fine, when in 6 weeks when I go to the show. Never do that to yourself. Show at a level that when you are riding at home, you feel comfortable, confident. Of course, mistakes are going to creep in at the horse show. Everything is not going to be perfect. But if you have one major thing that you are just completely stressed about, you can't do it at home, you get it to the show, and then you're just thinking all the time about that one pirouette or that one flank change or, whatever it is, that's going to ruin your whole test. So the best thing is to compete one level below what you're working on at home. And when you enter the show, you enter with complete confidence that you can do that test at the show, with the circumstances of the weather, of the wind, of the flowers, of the people watching, all those things. Then, as you're working up toward the show, I like to make a little bit of schedule in advance of the things that I want to work on. And the way that I create that is I know the tests at the level that I'm going to compete in. I know them pretty much. I know what's in those tests. I know it months in advance. And then those are part of my working day routine. If I'm going to be doing second level, the shoulder in, the haunches in, the turn on the haunches, the counter canter, the simple changes, those are all part of my daily workout. So that there's no surprises when I get to that day. I might not work the whole test from start to finish every day, but if I know that I'm going to do second level test 3 in 2 weeks, I might go through second level test 3 just to get a feel for what are the strong points of the test, what are places where the transitions are more difficult, and I'm going to work on those areas independent of the test for the next couple days and try to iron those out, get my horse a little bit more familiar. And mentally, the horse knowing the movement, knowing the figure, and just simply knowing where to go from here to there. I need to go from here to there, and I'm going to do that in the canter, I'm going to do that in the trot. That helps the horse out a lot. If you make a mistake when you're practicing your test, that's not a good time to have some kind of an episode or a little breakdown, because the horses are going to remember that and they're going to get confused when you start to do your test. So if I'm practicing a test and I have a little bobble, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to let the horse keep finding the path, the path of travel for the test, and then I might come back and I might repeat that later, but I'm absolutely not going to make a big deal about that mistake in that moment. Because the horses, they do remember, and we want them to remember in a positive way. Maybe they get mixed up. Maybe they put a trot step in when you meant to be walking, but that's not a time for getting hysterical. You ride the walk clean, you change the flexion, you do your canter depart, and you just stay along about your way in a calm way. And the horses get more confident with that. And it used to be that I would have this little thing eating away in my brain saying, what if he does that in the show? What if he does that in the test? And what I really have done to start to eliminate that is breaking the movement down into smaller bite-sized pieces so that my horse really understands exactly how to take himself from here to there.
We hope you enjoyed this bonus podcast. What would you like to learn about, and what tips would you like to hear? Email me, Stephanie, at sruff@equinenetwork.com, or reach out to us on social media. Remember, go to ondemand.dressagetoday.com and enter promo code DTPodcast to save 15% off your subscription to our online catalog. Thanks for listening.